Removing the Toyota Tundra bumper for 2 awesome mods. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to robmotivefst. And that's right, I am going to remove the bumper on the front of my Toyota Tundra for 2 awesome mods. Let's get started. First of all, you have these inner, they're not really the inner fenders, they're kind of a protector, I guess, part of the inner fender. You have to remove this piece here and this little piece down here, this little mud flap thing. So all it takes is a 10mm socket to remove this bolt or screw, this screw, that screw, and then another one right back there. And then over there, right on the frame member, I guess, there is a push pin you have to remove as well. So I'm going to get those out. We'll do both sides and then we'll move on. Okay, got all the screws off up there. It appears under here there are a couple more. One here, which I've already removed. One right here, which I am removing. And then it appears you have to remove this one as well. This one, the cover should come right out over. So I don't know what this is for, we'll find out. But this one you're going to have to remove too, I believe. Alright, I got the driver's side off, sitting right here, but not without any carnage. There were 2 clips on here. They are attached to the little panel here, and this one snapped right there at the bottom. It fits over just like this. So when I put it back on, I will be able to secure it because this fits on the outside of the bumper, but just beware, you have to slide these off or you will break it like I just did. So now I'm going to move over to the other side. Alright, we got the passenger side off, no carnage. Awesome. So now we have to disconnect some wiring. We have the fog lights over here, and you can see right here there is a connector that needs to be removed from this little frame piece, and then we have to unplug the light as well. And then you'll notice I do have the sensors on the sides, so I'll have to disconnect those as well, and I'll have to look underneath, but I believe the connector for those is up under here. We can just unplug that wire as opposed to having to unplug it from the back of the connector while it's under the truck. We can remove all that later. So it looks the same on both sides. Have to unplug and remove that little nub and then disconnect the sensors, and then we'll move on to the bolts for the bumper itself. And you can see, if you look right there, there's 2 of them. There's 2 on the other side, and then same thing on the other side of the truck. So those are the bolts that we're going to be, or the nuts rather, that we're going to be removing, and then that will set the bumper free once we have this wiring disconnected. Okay, we're under the truck. I'm going to make an attempt to show you. Right up there, you can see that gray connector right up there. That is for the sensors on the side. While we're under here, let me move you guys around. There you go. There are 3 bolts under here holding on the little cover down here. There's one here, and one right above me. Those need to be removed too. So once we have those removed, and then the sensor unplugged up there, we can attack the 4 bolts here that let the bumper go free. You also probably, and I think I'll probably have to do this, but remove the tow hooks here to gain access to the bolts to remove the bumper. So we'll do all that and then I'll come back on. Okay, a tip and moment of truth. For those bolts underneath, the, what are they, 3, 4, 8 of them that hold the bumper on, best to have a 14mm ratcheting wrench. And if you don't know what a ratcheting wrench is, I mean one of these that has a ratchet in it. Makes life a heck of a lot easier. They are tough to break, and a socket will not fit. There isn't enough room. So anyway, I've got all of them off. There were 8 of them, and now I should be able to pull the bumper. So I'll let you guys watch the carnage. Hopefully there isn't any. I don't want to break anything else. Let's see. That's probably as good a vantage point as I can give you, I think. So here we go. I'm going to try to pull it off. I have a chair to sit in for leverage. Obviously another person would be handy to do this, but I don't have anybody else that can help me do this at the moment. So it's all on me. Let's see. I think we'll try grabbing it up here. Why not? And it's not wanting to pull loose. That's not good. Let's start over here on the edge. I'll be the kiss of death. Okay. That's encouraging, as long as it doesn't fall out. I don't know how heavy this thing is. Here we go. Okay, it would appear it's going to come out. Here we go. But not like that. Okay. Come on in. Okay. Okay, I think I'm free. Alright, we're free. And I just have one wire that's caught underneath. And I did it. But nothing connected. Oh, that's it. We're free, and it is heavy. I'll tell you that. I don't know what it weighs, but it's going to be lighter without these ends on. They're fairly heavy themselves, so replacing these ends is going to make the bumper lighter to put back on. But it was a little bit heavy to get off, so now I have to put it on the table behind you without knocking the camera down. So I think I'm going to shut you guys off, move the camera out of the way, and set the bumper on my table so I can do what I'm really trying to do. Alright, real quick, now that I've got the bumper secured on this table behind me, just to let you see, I've got the wires hanging down, the ones I disconnected for the fog lights, that's all good. Of course, the other wiring for the sensors is still up in the truck, which is okay. That's where I want it. There's one right there. And here is where the bumper bolts on. You guys can see here. So that's where it's going to go when I put it back on. That should be a load of fun, but that'll show you where the screws are. Now, next part is to figure out how to get these ends off so that, of course, I can go ahead and put the new ones on. Looks like just a few screws. There's one left here, one left here somehow. Hopefully that's a nut. And that we have these to insert here. Let's go around to the other side, and then going to the, I guess what is the top of the bumper, I think. We have a bolt here, a couple of here, there's a little push pin thing, no big deal. One here, and I think that's it. And of course, removing that lovely sensor that's right down there, that will go in the new one, and then I have to pull the housing for the fog light out. That should be pretty easy because there's one bolt here. That should remove this whole unit, I believe, if I remember. So we can pull that out. I'm actually going to switch, while I'm at it, the fog light here with some smoked fog lights or blacked out fog lights, or at least they have black on the inside, so that's the plan. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at this a little closer, get some hardware off, grab the other cap, and we'll do one at a time, because then I can use that one as a guide if I need to. Let's catch you guys up. I've done a lot in a really short amount of time for you guys. I've got the bumpers on, or the caps rather, and I just want to give you guys a reminder, these caps are the caps. They don't go over the old chrome caps, so they do replace the caps. It's not that difficult to work with. I will say, if you're going to do this, set the bumper this way around with a couple of buckets or something under this part here. These are the parts that go on to the truck to get it up in the air. And then fastener wise, you've got a pop out here, no big deal. You just squeeze it together on the back. Bolt comes out here, bolt comes out here. Over here, this is where it screws into the fender piece sitting down there, so that's why there's an open hole here. You have a little pop out thing that does nothing now. It did when it was part of that unit, but it doesn't now, so it just fills the hole. Again, squeezes out from the back from your chrome piece. Coming around to the other side, you've got a bolt here, a bolt here, a little pop out push pin kind of thing. Just pop the center out, it pulls out, pretty easy. A bolt here and a bolt here. Now, the hardest part of this whole install, if I had to pick one, is these little screws or bolts down here, these nuts. There's little screws that come through here and you have to bolt this piece on. You can only see two of them, one here and one here. The other, of course, you have to feel for up underneath. So I'm going to be feeling for that to put the bolt back, or the nut back on. Same thing on the other side, and I will say it's universal all the way across. So you have those down here as well, and then one all the way down to the other side, which I can feel but I cannot see because it's behind the crash bar. The fog lights, they're pretty simple. When you have it out like this, you've already unplugged them when you took the bumper off, right? So you just have that little bolt right there, or screw. It comes out, the fog light comes out, that's it. In case you want to replace it, I did, of course, replace them. You'll have to wait a minute to see it. These are the OEMs. Pretty chintzy, cheapo little things. There's the halogen bulb in there. My new ones are LEDs. So that'll give me an LED fog in the front. All we have left are the headlights. We'll see what I do with that eventually. So anyway, now I've got to muscle the bumper back on. That, quite frankly, is not going to be fun. I'm going to try to do it sitting on the chair, and I'm going to try to get lucky. I hope I get lucky. I'll be back. Okay, I am done, and honestly, it took me all day long. Only because putting those little fender cover things back in, you know, what goes behind the tires, was very difficult to do. Only a couple of acts of carnage. I stripped a bolt, and I busted off a little piece that holds one of those fender liner things in. Again, I think I showed you that earlier. Otherwise, that's it. It went smooth, otherwise. There are the two chrome end caps, and let's take a look now. Here you go. This is what it looks like now. We're slowly getting rid of the chrome on the front of the truck. There you go. Of course, it's the bumper covers that I put on. And once again, the covers that you saw, obviously, are what are on the truck. So it's just plastic, but it's pretty stout. I mean, you're going to break it if you hit anything. But then again, you're probably going to ruin these if you hit anything either, although you are going to get more support out of metal than you will plastic. How would I rate this as far as level of difficulty? I'd probably give this about an 8 because it's just time consuming and a lot of little things you have to pay attention to. Getting the end caps off wasn't difficult, but getting the other ones back on was tedious. So I'd give it an 8 out of 10 for tedious, let's say. Anyway, leave a comment, let me know what you think. If you're interested in these, check out the unboxing video, the massive Tundra mod unboxing video that I did. That's where all the part numbers are for these parts. Again, they came from sparksparts.com. You can use discount code ROBMOTIVE for 5% off your order. Let me know what you think. Also, real quick, I do have 2 additional channels. Rob Motive, all about my 2020 Toyota Tacoma, and Rob Motive JT, all about my 2020 Jeep Gladiator. Check them out, and if you're interested, please subscribe. Don't forget to click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos, like what happens next to the front of my Tundra here. And do me a favor, smash that subscribe button on the way out. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.